And welcome back to our second YouTube exclusive for this week for the Power Pro Wrestling Podcast. I'm still joined by my friend Brad. You still doing good?
How you doing? I'm good.
Well, okay, for this second one, we're going to talk about Brock Lesnar. Now, here recently, he's been the talk of the town for WWE, where his contract is supposed to be up, I believe, the day after WrestleMania 31. So he's got 9 or 10 days left on his contract. So I wanted to get your thoughts, Brad. What you think Brock Lesnar should do? Do you think he should re-sign with WWE and go with that a while, or do you think he should leave and go back to UFC because maybe he feels like he needs to accomplish some more things in UFC? So I wanted to kind of get your thoughts of what you think Brock Lesnar should do.
I'm a UFC fan and a wrestling fan, but I'm a bigger wrestling fan. The wrestling fan in me just wants him to stay. As far as what Brock should personally do, I have no idea. I know what I want him to do, and that's stay.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely feel that he needs to stay in the WWE. That would be his safest bet and smartest bet, just for the simple fact of wrestling, I think, takes less of a toll on your body and stuff like that. And just how he's being presented right now, he's being presented as an unstoppable monster, whereas he might go to UFC and potentially face Shane Carwin or another guy and could get himself killed and be made look bad or maybe exposed that he's not the tough guy that he's being presented to be. So that could potentially hurt him, and not only for that, but just a toll or physical toll that's taken on your body from being in UFC, because they always say they're the real fighters and they really hit each other. So it would really take more of a toll on Brock. Now, I know in terms of his health back in the day, he wasn't as healthy as he's supposed to be right now, so he could potentially do UFC, because I hear he's supposed to be healthy and have gotten over, I believe, diverticulitis was his real big health issue. But I just think it would be smarter for him to stay in WWE, because if you look, he has a limited schedule as it is right now. He's being presented as a top guy, as an unstoppable monster. So just for me personally, although if he did go to the UFC, I wouldn't be upset with it, but I just feel Brock's best decision would be to stay in WWE.
To follow up on something you said, Robert, I'm going to ask you a question, because you always ask the questions around here.
Okay, that's fine.
Let's say that he goes to UFC and he gets his butt kicked. Does it mess up his stock in WWE?
And I think that's what the point I was trying to make is that with him going to UFC, if we say he can't settle the situation with Vince and come with a contract, that the money, dates, and stuff like that, and he does go to UFC and gets beat, that could take away his credibility in WWE, to where if he's in a real fight and he loses, he gets exposed that maybe he's not as tough as he really thinks he is, or he's being presented as he is. That could hurt his chances of going back to WWE, that maybe he's not the guy that he's being presented. Maybe he's not as tough as he thinks. So, I mean, to your question, I really think it would hurt his chances if he did go to UFC and lose and then try to come back to wrestling. So I think he just needs to stick with wrestling.
I agree.
Okay, so is there anything else you want to add before we end this second YouTube exclusive?
No, I think we pretty much covered it.
Okay, well, we're going to end the second YouTube exclusive, and you can check back for our next YouTube exclusive.